Welcome back to the Phils Boardroom, where we are touching base on the last 2 weeks of your Philadelphia Phillies season here in 2024. As always, this is Dave, and joined by co-chairman of the board, Tom.
Hello, Dave. Welcome back to the Phils Boardroom.
Good to see you, Tom.
I think we are back. I think are the Phillies back?
Well, let's get into it. This week's Ring the Bell is that exact question. Are the Phillies actually back? On paper, I think they are. Last 13 games since we recorded, we had a complete game by Christopher Sanchez, one shutout the other day against the Astros, 45 hits in 3-game series against Kansas City, which is the first time since 2007 against St. Louis. And then we also had a cycle. Weston Wilson, on the first game, the last time we recorded that night, he went for the cycle, the first cycle in Citizens Bank Park since David Bell in 2004. Yeah. All 4 really, really good things, great stats that happened over these last 13 weeks.
Yeah, it's been some more fun moments. I felt like we were in a state of dread there that we weren't sure we were going to come out of. So yesterday wasn't great, but we're recording this on Thursday, August 29th, the day after.
Yeah, last night's
the day after
game
the Walker,
was a
Walker Memorial.
Yeah, let's last night's game aside.
But we're back to having fun. I think. Yeah. So I say yes, we are back.
I think we are back to having
a couple
fun.
Series
on paper. The reason why I say on paper, because I think, and we'll touch on it here at the end of the show, it's really going to depend on how the series with the Braves goes.
Okay, we'll get into that because I'm not sure I agree. I'm not sure, because that's all I'm hearing. Got to take a series against the Braves. We never take a series against the Braves in the regular season.
That's the monkey that's on their back. It's been on their back. That's the
demon
they have to fight. If they can prove that they can fight that demon, I will officially say they are back. But we'll see. We'll dive into that later. But I mean, over the last 12 games, we have a lot of exciting 13 games, a lot of exciting things to talk about. See, I just forgot about it. I skipped over yesterday. It didn't happen.
So you're holding off on officially back.
On paper, it looks
how
like
many
we're
toes
back.
are
8-5 over the last 13 games. You had all 4 of those memorable moments throughout those 13 games, like really solid performances. Yeah, on paper, it looks like we're back.
So, you turn on the TV, you're back to being excited, and then except when you see that Walker's pitching?
Basically.
Because I think we're back.
Because it's a scheduled loss.
Because I think it's a momentum game. We're down to getting close to the last quarter of the season.
We're past that now, technically.
Is it past?
29 more games?
Yeah, and that September doesn't really scare me too much. Well, I don't know. I think they can really finish strong the way it's set up for them.
They definitely can,
regardless of what happens.
This series right now, and we'll talk about it.
All right, yeah,
it's huge.
All right, cool. So ring the bell with a couple big moments, and it's always good to have those big moments you can look back on when they make the DVD.
It was really fun to see Weston Wilson do, especially as technically he's a rookie.
Right.
It kind of came out of nowhere. Honestly, we were watching the game a little bit after we recorded, and then all of a sudden, you kind of realized it, and it's wow, this came out of absolutely nowhere. Nobody expected, because it was a great game, but for everybody, which we'll dive into. It was a great game across the board, and that just is wow, that actually just happened. Didn't really realize it was going on.
He's kind of built for the moment, his first career at bat, home run. He passes the vibe check. He brings the energy. It seems like he's a good fit. I like to give him some looks.
Yeah, and
come down.
And let's go right into recognition.
Yeah,
because he's a new dad as well.
Well, that explains a lot of it then.
The dad strength.
The dad bump.
Even though that technically the cycle happened before he became a father, or he might have been a father already, but he has a new baby. He just came off of paternity leave yesterday. He was eligible.
Okay.
I don't know if he's playing today.
You gotta play the baby home run bet
he's not playing yet today either. So we'll see.
All right. Well, congratulations, Weston Wilson. batted for. Does that make it like a 5 cycle? It's like a home run.
I mean,
the baby.
a lot of big things happening in his life. Everything's turning
Single,
up.
double,
Weston.
triple home run and baby. How many times has that been done, Tim Kirkjian?
Also want to recognize our new friends and followers across social media. I really appreciate the love. Now that we're, living in the world of TikTok and Reels, I'm glad to be, out there and distributing content to all you who are following us there as well. It's a lot of fun and looking forward to doing it much more often. So shout out to all you on Facebook, new fans, new followers, new directors at the board on Facebook, TikTok, Insta, and Twitter.
Yeah, the directors are getting loud on Twitter. There's a lot of opinions in the boardroom. The Phillies we did not think that this season was going to turn into a divisive season, but it certainly has. But I think we're turning a corner.
It's usually me. Tom always, since we both run some of the socials, Tom gets all the messages and is like, what's going on?
And then one more recognition while we're celebrating these 4 great achievements, that Christopher Sanchez, only the second pitcher with his complete game, our third pitcher this season, or one of 3 pitchers this season that has 2 complete games now.
Yeah.
Of all the things, like, what a gem.
There's 25, I checked the other day, there's 25 total complete games in Major League Baseball this year. The Phillies have 5 of them.
It's awesome. Yeah. And
the only, which pitcher, so we have 2 for Sanchez, 1 for Nola, 1 for Ranger.
Wheels is due.
He's due. You think he's going to get one before the end of the season?
I mean, we've been calling it out for the past couple months now, so he wants it now that he sees all these other guys doing it so much, and Sanchez keeps giving him credit.
He pitches tomorrow, right?
It's him and Fried Saturday, I believe.
Saturday?
Right?
Could be.
There's some great matchups coming. That's going to be a big part of the show, obviously.
We really do.
The game just started. The first game, Phillies Braves. Sanchez is on the mound again. So by the time you listen, he might have a third complete game. That'd be wild.
That would be.
Lopez and Suarez tomorrow.
Okay,
Lopez cooked us last time out, so that'll be a great matchup. Saturday is Fried and Wheeler. And then Sunday the game will be at, of course, they must have timed it. They knew you were going to be there, so Nola's on the mound versus Schwellenbach.
Of course.
Who pitched lights out against us.
Can't get away from the guy, honestly.
You weren't there
love
for
you,
that.
Love you, Aaron.
He's got a couple gems, man. He's got
love you, Aaron. Yeah, we'll touch on him. He's certainly been playing well. And last recognition here, as always, want to shout out our sponsor, the Boardroom Phoenixville.
Yep, you guys, they're the best food if you're in the Phoenixville area. They'll have the streets closed all weekend for Labor Day. I think till Tuesday because of the holiday, which is kind of cool. But brand new patio out there, live music, great food, best drinks. Those guys rock. Go check them out.
Absolutely. Thanks, Boardroom. So moving forward, industry update. Some cool things. One cool thing here is actually really interesting. I heard about it on World News Tonight, and I had to do a double take because I'm like, that's the strangest thing I've ever heard. So Danny Jensen.
This is a cork gin.
Danny Jensen became the first player to play for 2 teams in the same game in MLB history, right?
Please explain.
Yeah, so you would think, oh, that's all right. Who wouldn't get trade deadline's over, right? First of all, but you wouldn't physically in the same game, same day. It wasn't the same day. So what happened was June 26th, he was on the Toronto Blue Jays on June 26th, and he was at bat. And the game got delayed due to rain and postponed due to rain. And they replayed the game this past week after he got traded to the Red Sox. So the Blue Jays were playing the Red Sox on June 26th. So Danny Jensen was at bat.
So he's still eligible to come in for the other team.
No. So
was it a makeup game or they continued
you continue from. So he was at bat and it got postponed. So they had to pinch hit for him technically.
Right.
That guy struck out. I don't know who it was.
Did he pinch hit then for the other team?
No, he didn't. Danny Jensen never went back to the Blue Jays. They pinch hit for him in the middle of his at-bat. You can do that.
That's what I mean. But then
he was allowed
to play that game. That's a little wild for the Red Sox.
For the Red Sox. So that inning that half inning ended, and then he went out to catch for the Red Sox, the bottom half of that inning. So he technically batted and caught for the opposing team in the same inning. Wild, right?
That's insane. Yeah, I want to see the score sheet. Someone
crazy.
Imagine like if back in the day before like the internet, you just saw that and on like the line or the box score. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It was pretty cool to hear.
That's actually amazing.
See, like,
you should get a plaque for that. You should get something for that.
Oh, it's definitely something in the Hall of Fame for sure. All right, what's next? I don't really want to read this next one.
We kind of called this was going to happen. I think I'll Nostradamus myself that when Witt got picked up by the Braves, you know he was going to start balling out a little bit, and he has been. I think he's just wanted to be an everyday player, or I don't know.
I think he's one of those players. Like that's the reason why Castellanos plays every game, right?
Right.
He's got to keep playing.
But I don't know.
So Whit Merrifield's the same way, and he's raking right now with the Braves.
Yeah, as of that time, I think this might not include yesterday. It was 26 games. He's batting over 300, 313, 877 OPS, 17 runs. He led off today.
He's leading off this game tonight.
Revenge tour.
He kind of let us have it the first game a week ago. A couple hits,
whatever.
But they were pretty good hits. Anyway, moving on.
I don't care that much about Whit Merrifield.
I don't care either.
Until he smokes us in the playoffs.
Yeah. Let's talk about how things are looking standings-wise. So, yes, we are not the best team in baseball anymore. We are the second best team in baseball as of after last night. One game back of the Los Angeles Dodgers. So that's actually really important because we don't get we want to get the number 1 seed in the playoffs either because obviously the Dodgers being in the National League. We also are a half game over the Yankees, but it's super, super close all the way through. Yeah, 1 through 5 are separated. The Dodgers to the Orioles are separated by 2.5 games.
The Brewers, I think, is like, we want to be the first seed and not have the wild card, but like, in my opinion, the most important thing is not falling to that 3 seed and having a first round potentially with the Braves.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would suck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want, at the very least, one of the top 2 seeds because you never know. Like the Dodgers, the Braves were the 1 seed last year, but the Dodgers were also the 2 seed, I think, and they just got knocked out in the first round. So you never know. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. But
am I scared? Why do I say it though? Am I scared of the Braves? I just don't want to. I don't want to play them in the first round.
They are 8-2 over their last 10. We are 5-5 technically, even though we're 8-5 over the last 13.
And who else is storming up? Who could be a potential?
Well, the Dodgers are 7-3 over the last 10 too. But
the Diamondbacks are on a tear right now.
They've been on a tear,
and so that could be another potential rematch.
Yeah, but pretty much everybody else, other than those, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks. The Braves.
Padres are still in the mix.
Like, of teams that are in contention, everybody else is 5-5 or below.
Houston.
So it's so close. It's been so tight. I think they said that this is the first year since, 2014, that there might not be a team that gets over 100 wins.
Oh, wow. I thought we were on pace for 117. Whatever happened?
Well, we were. If you listen back to episode 6 with Tim Kirkshin, we thought we were.
Yeah, was that the turning point? Was
it the Mariners record?
Is it the fact that we're in Tim Kirkshin's building here?
I don't know.
No, never that.
So yeah, we're on pace for 95 wins. Dodgers are on the same pace, obviously, maybe slightly above that, obviously.
Schedule's soft at the end. We got through the toughest part after this Brave series.
Yeah,
we got another with the Blue Jay, 2 with the Blue Jays, and then 4 with the Marlins, and then the Rays come to town. The Mets, I think we handle the Mets, and then the Brewers, that could be a big series, and then 4 more against the Mets, and then Cubs have been playing well in Nationals, but like no more gleaming really. Like I think we get through September pretty painlessly if we keep playing well.
I'd hope so, but either way, even if we win 15 games in September, I think it's going to be a photo finish for the best records in baseball. I think it's all going to stay pretty tight.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to change.
There's so many teams that are just so
just keep holding on to the NL East. That would be worst case.
That's the most important thing.
Well, that's the thing. We're up what, 5, so we get swept all of a sudden it's a 1-game lead. 4 games against the Braves are huge.
Tom, not talking like that.
Yeah.
You said it.
I also, that was a stupid take earlier
Knock on
saying
wood.
that I didn't care as much about this series. Obviously, this series is humongous. We're up 5 games, and it's a 4-game series.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge series, but
Let's look back a little bit before we look forward.
That's right. So let's get down to business. Safety.
Defeat the hunt.
Injury updates.
Safety.
Honestly, it's that we are pretty healthy.
Yeah, we got there. It's as are they mentally healthy? Have they all come back from their injuries? But yeah, they've relatively have leveled out, especially
Physical health is in good. Well, from what we can tell, the only person who's still out is Spencer Turnbull. You really can't even find much on him, like any updates. You know, he was close to coming back, but he had a setback on his lat a couple weeks ago. They put him on the 60-day IL, which wasn't a big deal. The only thing that allowed us was to get another player up. So they put him on a 60-day IL. He's already eligible to play as of like 2 nights ago. They haven't had any updates or any talk about when he's going to come back.
I can't imagine he doesn't come back soon as they're trying to work this 6-man rotation. Well, it doesn't. Nothing happens without.
I think the 6-man rotation died yesterday.
I don't know if they really have a choice
with Taiwan Walker.
I don't know if they really have a choice, like because the way the games are bunched together. Then I don't think we're the only podcast talking about how there's been no rain cancellations this season.
Zero.
So.
Zero.
No doubleheaders.
It's incredibly impressive. We should look up and see. We don't have to do now. It'd probably take some extensive research just to figure out, are we the only team in baseball this season that hasn't had any rainouts?
Yeah, we'd have
or
to look
doubleheaders.
Because here's the thing, with our all of a sudden the struggles, where starting pitchers finally getting back, but like that puts so much extra tear on the pitching rotation when you play all those makeup games.
Tom, I don't disagree with you on this. I have been a proponent.
No, I'm talking about the rain. I'm talking about the rain.
Yeah, I agree. That's a lot of wear and tear.
Right.
If we don't have that.
So we have that advantage. Now every game's going to get rained out now that we say this.
I don't know.
On Sunday.
Regardless, 6-man rotation would be good.
No, they're 100% working it in. You're going to see it. The games are too bunched together.
Okay.
Because what's the alternative? You have our 4, and you just have Mercado, and then you go right back to the top. Like it's going to be different guys.
I don't know.
It's going to be different guys.
I think a 6-man rotation is great, but I don't know who's going to be.
I'm not saying to add 2 starting pitchers. I'm saying it's going to be 6. That 5th spot's going to be different people.
Bullpen game.
It's going to be different people. It might be Mercado. It might be Allard, Turnbull. But it's not going to be a consistent 5th guy. Is what all.
I don't know. I don't know, because they're also saying that Turnbull, what you can find out there, and the updates on him, is that he's going to come back into the bullpen. That's what's out there. That's what they're saying. But again, after last night's game, I think all options are open.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Basically, we're saying 6-man rotation, not saying they're going to have 6 pitchers rotate. It's still 5 spots, but that 5th spot is going to rotate.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Also, Jose Alvarado abruptly leaving. Hope everything's okay with him. There's not really a lot out there about that, but
yes,
it's a tough loss. Like he's been a little up and down, but having a hard hitting guy come in, throw 100 is a big loss in your bullpen.
You have to think. I have to wonder. Obviously, I hope everything's okay with him, but you have to wonder if there's been some personal things going on.
Yeah,
for a while that's been lingering, because it's like he's human, right? Like everybody else.
Right.
You never know what somebody's going through. You know, people have like just they're not performing at work, or they have like, a lot of stuff going on in their personal life. It's just it affects how they work, right? Could that have come into play over the past couple of weeks, months with Jose? He's been struggling, so I don't know if it was, but most importantly, I hope that whatever's going on with him is okay and gets settled. But makes you think and wonder a little bit.
Right. Yeah, they're saying no timetable, but he's expected to be back this season. So, yeah, go get right. With the starting pitching picking it up again, it's like, it makes such a world of difference.
It does, and we'll get into this here. Our record is currently 78-55 to 586 win percentage, 95 win pace for the season. We are 5 games up on the Braves, like we said, 9 games up on the Mets. The series coming up is going to be huge, but the starting pitching getting right and pitching like they were or close to like they were at the beginning of the season has been huge over these past 2 weeks. And it really started after Schwarber's grand slam against the Marlins. We pick right up to the National Series, and that next game is that 13-3 win with Weston Wilson hitting for the cycle.
Yeah, and they knocked out 4 straight there. They won the National Series, but still haven't won 5 straight since May, where it seemed like we were doing it all the time.
Yeah, we actually won 4 straight twice in this,
right, which is great.
Past 2 weeks.
Winning series is what we want to do.
That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. That's a 667 winning percentage.
Is that right?
2 out of 3.
Is that your Penn State?
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Penn State calculus?
Yeah. So, yeah, the National Series, we won 3-1. Really good series for us overall. You could tell that their approaches at the plate were much better. It really did feel like that grand slam by Schwarber kind of lifted whatever was holding them back, opened the doors for them, the floodgates, hitting-wise, because we went 13-3. We walked off game 2, which was a great walk-off by Trey. Nola also pitched really well. And then game 3 was the Sanchez complete game.
Yeah, which it was a lot of fun. It felt like the first time it was fun to watch Phillies game in a while.
It was.
Yeah.
And and then what happened? Taiwan ruined it in game 4. We lost 6-4.
That's a little bit of a trend.
Taiwan started. We lost.
And then
keep notes. Keep notes. Taiwan Walker started for us in a game, and we lost. See if there's a trend.
Yeah, brutal. And then that's when there already was rumors, but the rumors were really picking up. Like that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. And then there's still
it was not it.
It
was not it. Because we go to the Braves series. Thank God he didn't pitch there, but
yeah, rough series.
We did not play well, and we reverted back to what we were struggling with. So all the highs that came from that last Marlins game to winning 3 out of 4 against the Nationals quickly went south. Even in game 1 in that Brave series, you could kind of just see it as like, whoa, they're like playing lifeless.
Wheeler pitched a gem, but Lopez pitched just as well, if not better.
He did pitch well on paper. Again, it's like how much were we giving him that because of our approach to the plate? Like we've got a knack sometimes. Our offense tries to make these pitchers, these random pitchers, look like all-stars.
Well, Lopez is borderline all-star, but last night the kid was a rookie, and I think, had, 2 hits? And
3 hits. We got
but that was, and we'll get to that game, but, that was the kind of the story on that kid. He's got, a 4.5+ ERA, kind of wild, lots of walks, but he would get strikeouts. So it's like that is the perfect recipe to demolish a Phillies aggressive plate approach because we're swinging at things outside the strike zone all the time. So this is a guy with a ton of walks. That's the way he loses games, but we bail him out because we swing at everything. So it's like if you know that that's a pitching style and you don't make the adjustment, you deserve to get smoked.
Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking about this Brave series, right? Because we looked really good against the Nationals, right? And then we go into the Brave series and we revert back, and I just feel like this team, they're just so tight in certain scenarios. They just put so much. They're pressing. There's so much pressure on them in certain scenarios. Like they play really well. We saw it last postseason. They play really well when they have to, right? When they're the underdogs, when it's make or break, and they have to play well, they turn it on. They've proven that. But when they're playing ahead, or they have the target on their back, they don't know necessarily how to play as the top dog. I guess is what I'm saying.
And that's kind of what happened ever since they filled out the entire infield of the All-Star game.
Right? And it goes into the Brave series.
Yeah.
The Braves, the roles are reversed. Usually we're trying to
catch the Braves.
Yeah. And we're trying to do too much. Like everybody understands that any game that we play against the Braves right now is super important. In that series, they obviously did that. We're down in Atlanta. It's tough to win on the road. I get it. But in that series, like they were just pressing. They were trying to do way too much, trying to play hero ball again. And it's like they feel like when they get in those situations, that's what they have to do. It reminded me again a lot of the NLCS last year. It's like the same approach. Like just hit the ball. Like you don't have to.
Then when they get
hit
back
it out of the park every pitch.
When they get back to these small ball series, look at what happened in Kansas City with the Royals. They're literally the next series, and Kansas City is a very good team. So did they make that adjustment after the Brave series? Time will tell with this 4-game series.
It will tell, and I think they did because when we went into the Royals series, we crushed it. Like we had 45 hits
and only 3 home runs.
Only 3 home runs.
And tons of runs scored.
Yeah, tons of runs, 26 runs, in fact.
But the good takeaway from the Braves series, we lost 3-1, we won 3-2, we lost 3-2.
They're all tight.
Starting pitching was back. The starting pitching was great. We just couldn't generate some runs. Wheeler goes out there, gives up 3 runs. Sanchez gives up 3 runs, and Nola gives up 2 runs. You expect to win 2 of those games with this lineup, but that was a tough series.
It was. Yeah. But the Royals series is really good. Royals are a very, very, very good team, very solid team.
Fun team. It was cool getting to watch them.
Yeah, you don't get to watch them too often.
Yeah.
So, and they're at ballpark. I think it's really cool.
Bobby Witt's sweet. Their ballpark's awesome. That'd be cool to get out there.
It would be. And even though we lost game 1 7-4, it was a loss that felt like a win.
Who was pitching that game?
Taijuan Walker.
Oh, go figure.
Taijuan Walker pitched, and we lost.
Starting to think that if we didn't stick with this
if
guy.
Taijuan didn't pitch that game, I would bet a lot of money
he must not
actually won that game.
He must not be making that much money, right?
Oh, he's making a lot of money. If he wasn't pitching that game, we probably would have won because that's when you started seeing like we went back to the small ball approach, good approaches at the plate, being aggressive on the base pass, smart aggressive on the base pass.
Right.
There's a difference. We've done both.
Harper is not always the smartest, but he's aggressive.
Yeah. But anyway, Taijuan let up 5 earned runs that game, 2 of them home runs back to back. You know how the story ends, but they hit really well. They had 11 hits in a 7-4 loss. The Royals had 12 hits that game.
Yeah. So they had chances to win.
They definitely had
runners
chances to win.
Stranded, same old story.
Yeah. Then they picked it up game 2 and 3 and crushed it. They won 11-2 and 11-3 on Saturday and Sunday.
That was a JT game, right?
JT game 2, back-to-back. 2 3-run home runs.
That kind of felt like
back-to-back play
JT
appearances.
finally getting back post-injury because
he was struggling.
He couldn't really get it going, and then it's good to just see him pop off there. Because ever since, he's had some really great at-bats.
The interesting thing about that game 2, where JT popped off, he didn't pop off until middle of the game. It was actually 2-1. We were winning 2-1 going into the 6th. We won 11-2. So the 6th inning on in that game, it was fun to watch. And that led right into game 3. And
that was Rangers' first game back, too, which was just awesome to see.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So game 2 was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Game 3 was a lot of fun. Of course, JT gets a scheduled Sunday off day. After a great game, everybody was up in arms with that. Get it, understand. But Stubbs, in his place, had a career day. He went 4 for 4 and was a home run short of the cycle.
Dude, who has the better run, Stubbs or Schwarber? Like with the balls to the wall sprint. Stubbs looks like a little kid, but Schwarber looks like he looks
like a big grown man kid.
Actually, last year was worse. Props to Schwarber. Like his base running has been pretty. Dude's an athlete. He's definitely gotten better shape.
His speed's up.
He's definitely got his weight down a little bit from last year.
They didn't pitch hit for him the other day either in that walk-off. So, yeah.
Yeah, he was the ghost runner because my immediate reaction was like, this sucks.
That's why we picked him to be a breakdancer in the Olympics because we look at him and see the athleticism.
Sneaky athletic. You wouldn't know. I mean, not really that sneaky. He's like, how many All-Stars at this point?
So, obviously, Stubbs deserved the praise for that game. It was great. But he even admitted they were interviewing him after the game and like, yeah, he's like, well, if if I was a fan and you benched the guy who just had 7 RBIs and 2 home runs yesterday, I'd be upset too. He gets it.
Yeah.
But good for him. Great to see him play well. He's been struggling this year. We get it. It's well documented. But it was a good game, and also hats off to Colby Allard coming up basically for a game. They pushed to start in Lehigh Valley on Saturday to come and start on Sunday because Taiwan's start on Friday was so bad, and they had to use too much of the bullpen because Sunday's game was supposed to be a scheduled bullpen game, but because Friday went terribly, thanks Taiwan, Allard came up and he did really well.
Yeah, and that's where the rumors that seemed official were coming from, like the insiders of saying like, yeah, next few days
Taiwan's cooked.
Taiwan's gonna get he's gonna get either DFA'd or push to the bullpen.
Outright. Yeah.
And then they're like Mercado's gonna get the start, but then that just never happened. But it's like this same exact situation where we had to leave him out there yesterday because you want to not give up that game. But all of a sudden, you pull them after 2 innings, 3 innings. Your whole bullpen's cooked going into a 4-game series against the Braves.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like you had to just blow that game.
I completely get why he started yesterday.
No. I get why they left him in. He should not have started. And the argument is Mercado got smoked anyway later, but no, it would have been a different.
Let's talk about
game.
him here a little bit because we could really debate about this. So we go to the Astros series.
Need a boardroom drink.
Do.
Every Taiwan start. Should have a Taiwan Walker special. It's just like a triple shot.
Every home run, free shot.
Yeah. They go out of business. Shout out to Boardroom.
Shout out Boardroom Phoenixville. All right, Astros series started right where the Royal series left off. We went 2-1 in this series. 2 really, really good wins.
Game 1 was fun.
Game 1, game 2.
That was
game
a lot
1
of fun.
was a lot of fun.
That was the game where Kruk was like tweeting live during the game.
Yeah, he's getting
back and forth with
the
fans.
one guy was a real jerk.
Yeah. And then he started talking about it. Kruk's been on fire.
I love that, and that's what I love about watching baseball broadcast because they have the local broadcast. And you don't have to. You can be biased though.
Oh yeah,
that's the great thing about it. Is like Kruk is just a fan that's calling the games. Like he's just like us.
Oh yeah,
it's so fun to watch.
But he's invested. He cares. Yeah,
he definitely cares. And that was the problem. Like the tweet was about him because he does it when there's a ball that's well hit and it's going to be a home run.
Like way to ruin.
He can tell it off the bat. He's like yes, and he always does it. And I love it because like yes, you know it's going to happen. And the guy like complained about it. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, who's getting?
And he was being a real a-hole.
So he tweeted like, "There's no time for a-hole. I don't have time for a-holes today." This is as the game. This is like the 7th inning.
Yeah.
And then the guy is like, someone else tweeted, "Unless it's a baddie," and he tweeted back, he's like, "I don't know what a baddie is," or something.
Well, he also said it after that game. Michael Barkan was interviewing him after the game, and Barkan was talking about the vibes, and Kruk's what I don't even know what that means.
He's like, "You're way too old to be saying the word vibe."
He said Ben Davis could.
Yeah.
Which Ben Davis. Shout out Ben Davis.
Big friend of the program.
Even though Ben Davis, I don't even know how much younger he actually is than Kruk. But
it's pretty great too. Because then he ripped on Amaro too. He's like, you can't say it either. Kruk's
anyway,
the man, dude.
Back to the show. Astro series was really good. Comeback win that first game with the walk-off. Harper walk-off. It was good. And he talked about it too after. He's like, yeah, I've been struggling. Like, I wasn't really happy with that hit, you know?
Right.
He knows he's not making good contact.
I thought he was going to smoke it, but then, it was like a perfectly
He rolled over
ball.
it. He said, I've been rolling over everything. Doesn't matter. Got the win.
Rojas made that web gem. That
was
like
the biggest part of
that. Felt like a playoff game. The way it went, the way they strategically brought the defense in.
Came
Rojas
back.
We
were down 2-0.
Small ball won it in the end.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
That felt like
great
a
win.
Great win. Yeah. Real quick last note on the broadcast thing just came to my head because I noticed when I was watching the nationally broadcast game, which I guess would have been one of the Astros games. We had a couple.
One of them was.
But it was when it might have been before that actually because it was when we were still pretty down. Like we were not.
Might have been the Braves series.
We didn't feel like we were back yet. It was the Braves
series
because it was Smoltz. Yes, so the Brave game was on Fox. And as you're tuning in, you're used to the Phillies broadcast where it's all like doom and gloom. And they were just talking about the Phillies as if they were one of the top 3 teams in baseball. And they're like, oh, wait, duh, that's right. This is still a great team.
Yeah,
we're not the worst batting
Phillies
lineup in the
fans,
world.
it's like it's all we watch of the Phillies. Like most of us don't actually. Obviously some of us do.
They're like, yeah,
Pay attention to the rest of the league. We think it's only us in a microcosm. It's like we're the only ones going through these things.
Like Smoltz is talking about Castellanos. He's like, yeah, sometimes he'll chase here and there, but the guy's just absolutely a great hitter, all-star. And we're like, I guess Castellanos is pretty good. And shout out Castellanos. He should have been in recognition. He's been, arguably carrying this team since the All-Star break.
Since June, middle of June.
Yeah.
He's been great.
So all the Castia haters out there, eat some crow.
Yeah.
I know you won't. You're just waiting for one game where he doesn't get a hit.
All right, let's finish out the delivery here. Nola pitched really well. He ended up team with a shutout, 13 shutout for the season. That is tied for the most in Major League Baseball this season so far. Great win in Game 2, and then yesterday's game, flush it. Taiwan was
flush it.
Atrocious. Lost 10-0. We almost got no hit. Luckily, we had 3 of them. Hayes broke it up in the 8th.
Yeah.
Moving on. Doesn't matter.
As Crux said, I don't think anybody's ever hit a 10-run home run because they were swinging for the fence in like the 8th and 9th. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's
let's just get out of this.
All right. So year-over-year comparison to last year. Last year's team, right now we are 78-55. Last year's team was 74-59 at the same point. They ended up finishing with 90 wins. We're on pace for 95. So checks out.
Yeah.
Checks out.
It's a long season.
It is a long season. But to your point, September gets a little softer. It'd be nice for us to go on a little tear and maybe get more than those 95 wins. And I think this team is better than last year's team. By how much? I don't know. We'll find out at the end of the season. Well, but still, they're getting to that point where they're close.
Right, and we haven't seen it. We're just getting back to pitching, functioning how we expected to. Ranger coming back, Sanchez coming back and being. They said he had a small adjustment after the All-Star game. They saw his release was low.
He was struggling the first 2 or 3 games after.
Yeah, and they said they noticed it, and as soon as they made that adjustment, he pitched that complete game. So hopefully he's rocking and rolling. Wheeler and Nola, we know we're going to get 2 studs. So that, with that, and then have the bullpen. Now we have Estevez there. Big guy will be back, and Turnbull coming back. I can see it shaping up, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And our magic number is 25. So for those of you who don't know what the magic number means.
Yeah, we're going to start magic number tracking.
We are tracking the magic number. Magic number is 25. So what that means is basically we need 25 more wins. I put that in quotes because, yes, we could win 25 of the 29 games and we would go and we would win the National League East. Right? But it also counts for, in this case, Braves losses. It counts whatever team is directly below you. If they lose, it essentially counts as a win. That's another reason why this series is so big. Because, for example, if we sweep the Braves, it would be amazing. That basically counts as 8 wins for us.
Right. So if we beat the Braves, the W makes the magic number go down 1, and the Braves L makes it go down another 1.
So it counts for 2.
So it'll go down 2.
Yeah. So we could theoretically, if we sweep them, go from 25 magic number down to 17 in a 4-game series.
Everybody remembers all the magic number talk from the comeback against the Mets.
And if we sweep
those 2 years, that was magical.
If we sweep the Braves, we will be up 11 games on them.
We're down 1-0 right now in the 3rd.
All right.
But, you'd expect a little
plenty of game.
Yeah, let's get the little pokes here. All right. So year over year, go figure. We're still above, as we have been all year.
All year. But they're getting closer. This is the point.
They
obviously
are
last
closer,
year.
yeah.
Obviously last year where we got a lot tighter, but we'll see how we finish out. And let's dive into the quality here. The players over the last 2 weeks. Obviously, we played much better as a team, but there were a number of players that have still been struggling.
Yeah, and we're keeping account. If they're in the red, they're in the green. Obviously, we kind of touched on a lot in our review there as it is. And so preview coming up. We'll have 2 weeks from now. We'll have another review. And then at the end of the season, we'll make sure we hammer down. We'll get the accountability officer in here and see how close we were with our predictions and all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
That's going to be fun.
I'm not going to dwell on this guy, but Taijuan Walker is fire engine red.
Yeah, there's
terrible. He has, over the 3 games that he pitched, close to a 10 ERA. An average just over 4 innings in those 3 games.
I think there's no red if you go
done.
down like 2,000 feet in the ocean. He's still red down there.
You can still see the red light.
Yeah.
Schwarber, Harper, Bohm. 3 of our top 4 hitters are still struggling. Schwarber was not, but he has of late.
Yeah.
Put the grand slam aside, which doesn't count in these statistics, but he was even struggling right before that too.
He seemed to get it together here and there when the rest of the team wasn't, but then wasn't cooking along when we were having good games.
He's hitting 151 over the past 2 weeks.
They've been
Only 8 hits.
They've been throwing around him a decent amount as well, though. Like that, the Trey Turner walk-off was preceded by
he still gets on base.
Schwarber walk, yeah.
He's 3rd in baseball with walks with 92.
Yeah.
He's 10th now in runs.
Bohm, I feel he's still been swinging it pretty well. Just the way he was cooking early.
He has, and he hasn't. It's been like a struggle. He's getting hits, but it doesn't look as seamless as it was. He's hitting 229 over the past 2 weeks. Still leads the league in doubles, 1st in the league in doubles, 10th in the total RBIs. He's been leading it the whole season. I think he might go wire to wire.
He's got to take that home.
He really does.
That would be very disappointing if he doesn't take that home.
It would be.
Yeah,
you're right. I think he's still up. He's up by like 6 doubles on the second person.
Yeah, the other night he had 2.
Yeah, and then Harper. There was a peak, I think, the last time we recorded, where he was hitting better since the All-Star break. But ever since the All-Star break, he has not been what he was before the All-Star break. Just under 240 right now. For the season, he's in 277. He was, at the All-Star break, he was right at 300, right over
around, yeah. And it's kind of visible. Like, he still seems like he's, squeezing a little tighter. It feels like it's a little in his head. Like, he's got to...
They always say it's always timing with Bryce. Always timing with Bryce.
He seems angrier. Like, I want to see him have a little fun. Like, even when he got on the first inning. He's definitely in his head. Yeah, like he just seems like he's playing very angry. I don't know.
Yeah, he needs to be looser. Maybe that's the better word. He needs to be a little looser.
Stay loose and sexy. He's got to take notes from the boys.
Pache's no longer in a team. There is another spot in the band. Could it be Bryce's to take?
But I don't know. He needs to do something to loosen him up. We're a PG podcast, but
here comes Ranger.
Speaking of Ranger, what's up, buddy?
Producer Jeff's dog Ranger, named after our own Ranger Suarez, came down to visit us.
Little rescue guy, so he's very hesitant of the
very very cute dog though.
It's a little hot in the Phils Boardroom. Ranger's the man.
All right, let's talk about some of these players that have been doing well, doing great over the past 2 weeks. Very green.
Got to celebrate the green. If we look at the red, we got to celebrate the green.
And I'm going to celebrate my man, Aaron Nola.
Whoa. Okay.
I had tickets to Tuesday's game. I didn't go. I moved him to this Sunday's game against the Braves upcoming. Nola was supposed to pitch Tuesday. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to this Nola start. Even though I had tickets for it, this is how it goes. I just can't get away from the guy. And then I'm like, wild. Yeah, I'm going to go Sunday now. And I look to see who's pitching, Aaron Nola.
Can't get away from him. Great matchup, too.
Anyway, he has pitched really well in the last 3 games. 1-0, ERA under 1 at .95, 15 strikeouts. Best starter that we've had over the past 2 weeks.
And it's funny because he's been used to be one of his best pitches was the changeup. He's kind of gotten away from using it, almost like entirely. But like when he does throw it, he's throwing it at different speeds. It's fun. It seems like he's kind of adapted, but it's more of the movement pitches and fastball. He's painting that thing. But the changeup used to be like that changeup in the dirt used to get people swinging all the time. It feels like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's definitely made some adjustments.
It's working though.
It is working right now. Just keep doing what you're doing. And let's talk about some of the hitters that have been in the green. And it's interesting to see this group because we talked about Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, 3 of the top 4 hitters in our lineup struggling right now. A big reason why we won 8 of the last 13 is because of the unsung heroes, the back of the bottom of the lineup, the bench guys that are coming in and playing on random games, right? Johan Rojas is hitting 304 over 7 games in that 13-game span. And he's been playing really well since the All-Star break, ever since he came back up from AAA.
Yeah.
He's been playing really solid.
Bringing the energy out there, giving Embiid the finger wag after he made that catch, that diving catch, game-saving catch in center field.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So he's been playing
Rojas,
well.
Man.
And Weston Wilson, obviously, he had the cycle a couple games ago, 2 weeks ago. But he, over these past 2 weeks, has hit 500, 9 hits, a home run, and 6 runs scored in those 6 games, as well as a new baby at home.
Yeah. I think
that's great production.
Stick
over
with
2
Wilson, because there's a few guys that have bounced up and down, but you play the hot hand.
We kind of have to, right?
Obviously, in Sosa, he ain't going nowhere. He's just been awesome all year.
He has. But then Trey has been, he was struggling.
Yes,
and he was struggling ever since the All-Star game. He's picked it up over the past 13 games. In 352, 19 hits, a home run, and 8 RBIs. 305 batting average. And he's now eligible right behind Ozuna for the batting title. He's hitting 307.
So he's got
that's another battle within this series that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, so 305 and 307, right, was the last I checked before yesterday's game, though. Might be so, but yeah,
he's still at 305.
That's awesome. Like that's fun. That's the NL to have the batting leader in the NL. That'd be sick. Trey Turner, get it done. Back over 300. The border, he felt the pressure of the Phils Boardroom put on the graph. But it's funny though, because even in his interview, at like the peak of that slump, he was saying like it's weird. Everybody slumps, but it's the same thing we've been saying. Everybody's been saying like it's so wild to have everybody slump at the same time. But hey, if it means they all break out of it at the same time, let's go.
Yeah. So good for him breaking out of that, and so did JT. Obviously, that big game against the Royals, but he's hitting 361, 2 home runs, and 11 RBIs over the past 2 weeks.
Huge.
265 overall for the season, so it hasn't been his best season, but it'd be great to see him turn it on and stay with it for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you finish batting 361, we'll take it. And he's one of the leaders. He's the team. One of the other teams goes as JT goes. Same with Bryce. So
yeah, both of them. And then we talked about it a little bit earlier. Nick Castellanos, he hasn't necessarily been hitting well over the past 2 weeks. I think he was at a 270 average, which is fine. It's solid, especially for him. But he is batting 300 with 70 hits, 9 home runs, 41 RBIs over the last 62 games. And we've been tracking it ever since that Padres series in June. That's 62 games ago. That's basically more than a third of the season.
Yeah.
Now, almost inching closer to a halfway through the season that he's hitting 300 or better.
I mean, you know what he is. You know what you're getting.
The Casty haters shouldn't be out there anymore.
He has put multiple wins on the board alone.
He has like 3 or 4 walk-offs this year.
Yeah, I think he's up to three or 4.
Yeah.
There was 2 that were very close together. But yeah, I mean, he's proven his worth. And, it's and
he plays as much as we got talk when he came over here about his defense. I don't think he's that bad.
He had like 450 straight games without error until they called that BS error on him.
I know.
So, but also it's like, let's see what he does in the playoffs. Oh, what? Like when he went on a historic home run hitting tear, but then the following series couldn't hit a ball. Well, that's what you're going to take. I'll take that. He kind of beat the Braves on his own a little bit.
He did. So let's move on to people here. And the one thing I want to talk about first here, we just talked about Rojas and Wilson playing really well for us over the last couple of weeks. Wilson obviously can play some infield positions too. But then you got Marsh, who seems to be swinging better, much better than he was.
Yeah.
And then Hayes, who's coming and he was injured, but he's come back, and he's pretty serviceable. He's
been coming along. Bat. Yeah.
those 4 guys, 2 spots in the outfield. Who do you go with?
I think you'd stick with using Rojas as the late game defensive switch.
So don't have him as a starter.
No. I think that's you could have him come in,
Even though he's hitting over 300 when he gets the opportunity.
Nah, pinch run, defensive late game.
So basically Hayes, Marsh in center.
Yes.
For the most part.
That's what I'm running with.
That's what it's been. But just curious to see because Wilson's been swinging a hot bat too.
And if Marsh keeps striking out, you kind of have to do that.
Marsh has been hitting better though.
Yeah.
He has. He's hitting like 270 over the
So if
past
you're
couple
sitting
weeks.
Marsh, then go back to the Rojas center Hayes.
I think you can do Rojas, Wilson.
I wish they would have actually got Sosa in left field, like they said they were going to.
I guess what I'm saying is like we're actually in a pretty decent position. I don't think I'm fine with any of these 4 going out there.
Yeah,
right now, defensively and offensively.
And obviously, Cassidy's never missing a game in right.
Cassidy's out there permanently. Build him a statue.
Yeah, I think Martian. You're gonna switch Martian. Yeah, they're gonna keep doing the lineup. They're gonna keep doing it.
Marsh
right
Hayes.
lefty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. When they have a lefty, they'll probably change it up. But bottom line, I guess what I'm getting at is I'm cool with any 4 of them playing out there. They're all kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to worry about like it's not
going to be a huge drop off.
It's not Merrifield out there who's stinking it up behind the plate, like batting 180. We don't have guys batting 180 anymore, really, that are in the mix.
Exactly. So the Austin Hayes move wasn't that bad.
Nah, I like him. He's a couple big moments away from winning over the crowd, I think.
Yeah. So the other big thing around people is as of Sunday, this coming Sunday, September 1st, you are able to go from 26 players on your active roster to 28. So it opens up 2 more players. Who are they going to bring up? Who are they going to add?
I mean, personally, I would like to see the kid Cody Clemens, but I don't know. I think we need more pitching depth.
I don't know if we're going to get. I think it's going to be a batter and a pitcher. It'll be Cody Clemens.
I think Cody earned it with his play.
Cody
compared
definitely
to.
I hope it's Cody Clemens.
Yeah,
but it might. You're absolutely right. It might not be. It might be 2 pitchers. But I hope it's Cody Clemens, and I hope it's somebody like probably Allard. For whatever reason, they're not trusting a Tyler Phillips. I know he had some bad outings.
Got to keep Phillips in my opinion. You got to get that kid back out there, give him another shot in this rotation. Because if you're gonna be the manager that gives everybody too many shots, give the young kid another shot.
The Philly kid. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't care. I don't have a stake in the game, whether it's Phillips or Allard. Allard pitched pretty well for us last week when he came up for that one game. But I do agree. I would love to see Cody Clemens up. I think that's a no-brainer if they want to bring up another fielder and hitter.
Yeah, I thought so. Because who's the alternative? Bring up a fielder.
Jetpacks?
Yeah, the other kid.
Kingery?
How sweet would it be if we had All-Star Kingery right now? Actually, I don't know if he'd fit.
Nah, I don't know if he would.
But yeah, we'll see what they do. There's going to be some moves.
It's a big reason why there's definitely going to be a pitcher.
It's getting tighter.
Because they open those 2 spots, which allows them to basically stash Walker in the bullpen, which is exactly what they're doing.
Right.
They announced it just before we
Turnbull
recorded.
coming back is.
Yeah, Turnbull coming back too. Yes. So maybe it will be Turnbull and then Clemens. Essentially that's what it would end up being.
Just send Taiwan to Cancun early. 9
or when Turnbull comes back, that's maybe when they release Taiwan. They're going to stash him in the bullpen. They're going to work on some things with him.
It's all money.
And whenever we go up big in a game in September, they're going to bring him back out, have him work on some stuff, and it's probably not going to go well. I think he's just going to sit out there. I don't think he's going to make the postseason roster. I think they're going to release him before that. They're going to stash him in the bullpen right now, see if they can figure out something, make him serviceable to try and make some of this contract worth it in any way. Because he's still owed $36 million over the next 2 years, and that's going to be our cost.
Get into the cost.
That's our cost element.
Yeah. What's the biggest red on our cost sheet?
$36 million.
The guy who lost 9
years.
straight games. Yeah.
And he's going to be dead weight. It's sunk cost. It is.
Yeah. But with the sudden loss of Alvarado, it does make sense to have an arm who's used to pitching. Slug, yeah.
But he's going to come in like the lowest leverage situations imaginable.
Yeah. All right, well, that's pretty much the only cost, glaring cost. But
they owe Taiwan
cares?
a lot of money.
You know what I say?
Charge me $2 more for a beer as long as Taiwan doesn't pitch.
No, they charge us enough. We've already paid that off, dude. I'm out here drinking Tropic Force.
I want to drink a $20 tall boy at the games.
I'm out here drinking Tropic Force 9%ers just to get my money's worth. It's hot now. Them things are hard to drink when it's hot.
Best bang for your buck. It's like drinking syrup.
Dude, when those hot Sunday games, we had the Sunday ticket package, you get one of those, it's like, you got to drink it so fast because it immediately becomes like syrup. A hot sludge.
It is.
They're pretty good.
They are pretty good, but you do have to drink them fast.
No free ads.
When you drink a 19-ounce, 9% beer fast.
In 90-degree weather.
in a Taiwan game, things aren't going to end well. All right, so let's wrap it up. Let's look forward. We talked about this a lot throughout the show, but this 4-game series against the Braves, which we're currently starting with game 1 right now, it's underway as we speak.
We're down 3-0, end of the third.
Great to see. Gotta love it.
A lot of baseball left.
That'd be great. We need to come back. Anyway, what do you think for this? So what does success look like in this 4-game series for you?
I mean,
what if we swept?
I would want to say I want to say 3, but in reality 2. Just don't give up any ground.
Don't give up any
ground.
That's
in my honest opinion. We got our dogs going out there and pitching, but so do they. Don't give up any ground.
We don't give up any, but we make ground though too. We don't give any ground. We'd still be up 5 games.
I love the win,
but it goes our magic number goes from 25 to 21, even in that scenario.
No, I would love the win 3. I'm happy with 2. If we only win 1, I
will take 2.
This is not.
If we win 1 or somehow we get swept.
If we get swept, it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
This is bad news, Bears.
Especially because we'll be there Sunday night.
That means we'd only be up a game on the Braves. It's not going to happen. We're not going to even speak that into existence. But it would be very bad.
Saturday game will be on Fox. The Sunday game will be on ESPN. Maybe get a little bit of Timmy K, Kirkjian on the call.
Sanchez tonight, Suarez, Wheeler, Nola on Sunday. I mean, couldn't have rolled out a better.
They're listing Walker as Tuesday.
Yeah, this was from last night, so scratch that one off. It's not going to be Walker next Tuesday.
Dude, that's how I felt 2 days ago, too, or whatever.
It could actually be Sanchez again, technically. It's 5 days rest.
Yeah,
so they might do something like that. They might skip over.
They'll throw Mercado out there. I'll bet $1 on it.
Or Allard.
We'll see. Then a couple with Toronto, going up to Canada, get some fresh air. Or are they still on fire in Canada? I don't know.
Yeah. And then we have 4-game series down in Miami. I feel like we play the Marlins in 4-game series all the time. We never play them as 3-game series, always 4.
Or 2.
Why do they do that? Yeah. I don't understand. So we play 4 against Miami in Miami, and then we come home for 3 games against the Rays.
They want to give the boys enough time to enjoy Miami.
Yeah. And Casty wants to, let Casty stay home.
Yeah. Do you think Casty gets down like James Harden? You get to be able to track. We found there's someone on Reddit that tracked, and I'm sure it probably plays more in the NBA than baseball, but baseball is also a long season. But you could judge games winning percentages on the road based on the Yelp star reviews of the gentlemen's clubs, strip clubs, and teams that played on Saturday nights in like Miami or like LA. The next, you could guarantee bet the under on them.
It probably plays more in the NBA. I could do in Major League Baseball too.
There's strip clubs in Houston. They probably got James Harden's jersey in the rafters. But yeah, I don't think I think our Mormon crowd isn't really getting too down in Miami.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
4 games.
4 games down there, and then we come back home for 3 against Tampa Bay.
Maybe Bryce can go hit the beach though and relax for a day.
He does.
Loosen up.
They don't really get a day. It's straight through.
So I think, and then after that, I think Cubs. The rest of the season, we'll have one more preview of the next in 2 weeks. Preview the rest of the season, I think.
Yeah. So we'll record again in 2 weeks, And then really after that, it's the end of the next episode we'll have after that, two episodes from now, is the end of the season.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of loaded. Obviously, we're going to cover all these races. Trey Turner, batting race, batting title, Bohm, double title, obviously the NL East title, 1, 2, 3 seed. We're going to see who finished in the green, yellow, red. So that'll be a lot of fun. We're
It'll be a lot of fun.
Put that together.
And hopefully we'll do something special for that last episode.
Might do that live at the boardroom, maybe.
Potentially.
Yeah,
figure that out.
All right, cool.
Team building activity. So 2 days ago, they actually had the Phillies players have a fantasy football league, and to determine their fantasy draft order, they started this last year apparently. They do it closest to the pin.
Yeah.
Out to center field with some golf clubs and a golf ball to determine who's going to pick in what order in the fantasy draft. So, question that we're going to go through and debate, discuss. If we were building a fantasy football team with only Phillies players, who would they be?
So the Phillies players playing football.
Phillies players playing football. So for those of you who are familiar with fantasy football, or if you're not, you have a quarterback, you usually have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a kicker, and a position that's called the flex, which could be a receiver, running back, or tight end. We're gonna leave the flex out. Too confusing.
We'll do an IDF, though.
The kicker,
individual defensive
and then
player.
we'll do an individual defensive player.
And also, for what it's worth, you know who won the golf chipping closest to the tee? It's a very obvious answer.
Close to the pin, yeah.
Best athlete on the team.
JT.
JT.
Did he get it?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, he won, yeah.
Oh, did he? I don't actually know who won, so okay.
JT won. The guy is just
I watched some of their swings. I'm like, oof.
And with that, my 1-1 overall pick is obviously all-state JT Real Muto quarterback.
I mean, yeah, hands down. That's
Yeah.
easy. That's a slam dunk easy one.
Yeah. You could technically put him at every one of these positions.
Oklahoma all-state quarterback JT Realmuto.
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
You could also he'd probably make the best running back too, because
he'd probably make the best at every position.
Yeah. So running back.
All right, so hold on before you pick.
All right.
How do you want to do this? Back and forth, 1-1.
I think we could both have them. Like we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hear me out. What are our strategy with 2 running backs? Do we want to have a thunder and lightning, a bruiser and a quick guy, or all around running back and a fullback?
I would say thunder and lightning. That's kind of what I was
fantasy,
thinking.
thunder, lightning. Okay.
So my lightning would probably be Stott. Small,
kind of stocky too, catcher. Yeah, because I was thinking maybe Turner, but like he's too scrawny. Yeah, we needed him in the slot probably.
I would. This is hard because I would think
the way he runs, just a wild man. Arms
not Stubbs. Yeah, not Stubbs. Stott. I would say not Stubbs. Stubbs
Schwarby.
is way too small.
Oh, I thought you said Stubbs.
No, Stott.
Stubbs is a catcher.
He is.
There's 5'8" running backs in the NFL. Stubbs is 5'10".
I know, but Stott's faster.
Stott is faster. Okay, so have Stott be the lightning. I like that. Probably great catching a screen or wheel out of the end. Yeah. Stott's not dropping a lot of balls.
That's what I'm thinking.
We got Schwarber as the bruiser, or Jose Alvarado.
I keep thinking like somebody like Jeff Hoffman. I don't really know his speed, but like he could also be up there too. Big dude.
Matt Strom's kind of a psychopath. He could probably just Bobby Boucher. Nah, he not big enough. Yeah, as far as a bruiser.
What about Ranger?
Ooh, I don't hate it.
Like he's got like that Le'Veon Bell like.
He's got
patience,
very quick twitch.
Hits the hole, but he's patient for it to develop.
You know how fast that ball coming back to you when you're a pitcher and he's fielding everything. He's got that quick twitch.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with Ranger.
Maybe Ranger.
RB1.
Maybe.
Ranger RB1, Stott RB2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's good. What about receivers?
So my first immediate thought doesn't go to wide receiver 1 on the outside. It goes to Trey Turner in the slot, like Wes Welker.
Okay.
He's still like 6'2", 6'3". Fast as that.
Yeah.
Fast
all right.
as
Yeah.
hell.
Trey slot receiver. Because my guy,
I want Trey as my
guy
two.
is super obvious because he was getting recruited for college for receiver. He was a stud in Georgia.
Who you got?
Brandon Marsh.
Oh, yeah, duh.
He's a stud.
Oh, dude. I like
Stud
this team's
receiver.
shaping up.
You what? Yeah.
This team's shaping
Stud
up.
receiver in high school.
I think my tight end's pretty obvious.
Who?
Who do you think? Say it on three. 1, 2, 3.
Castellanos?
Harper. Oh.
Harper.
I think Harper's laying out blocks, like George Kittle style.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I could
He's
also...
not as big, though.
He's pretty big. He's strong as hell.
He is strong.
I could see him being a beast, like strong safety, too. Just letting
Yeah, he
people
looks
out.
more like a strong safety. Yeah, I think he would have to
Casty
be
or Bryce, yeah.
Because then you got Bohm. Like, where's Bohm? Is Bohm in any of these, or is Bohm just not a football player?
Yeah, because we could have went big on the receivers and had Marsh and Bohm. I like Trey. Trey.
Trey's good.
The NFL's a fast league these days.
Trey's good. I don't know. Bohm might not have a spot. I
Is he the
agree.
kicker?
I think
Is Bohm the kicker? Nah, the kicker's got to be one of the Dominican dudes.
No, 'cause I think
they all play soccer. Yeah, it's got to be Jose or Sosa.
Edmundo
Edmundo can kick a ball,
or
bro.
Stubbs too. I could see Stubbs being a kicker.
Edmundo can
Like,
kick
Stubbs
a ball.
could be the tiny kicker. Like he could, but Edmundo probably is a better player.
Stubbs is that guy that comes in when your kicker gets hurt, and they're like, "Oh, this guy used to kick in middle school, and he like kicks it decent."
All right, Edmundo Sosa, kicker, tight end Harper.
Cassie didn't make the team. Sorry, bud.
But what about defense?
I mean, I'm going Jose Alvarado blowing up the middle of the line, baby.
Yeah, but I don't really play individual defensive player in fantasy too often.
So we did.
Do you draft linemen?
So
Not really.
yeah, the tackles get you like the most points, but they can vary a little too. It's a good point. So if we're thinking fantasy, who's like a do-it-all linebacker?
Schwarber. Schwarber was like all-state linebacker.
Yeah, it's Schwarber.
It's Schwarber.
It's Schwarber.
Or Rojas at corner.
Oh man,
He'll play.
Hawk.
He'd be a hawk. He'd be a hawk. I've been thinking about this one since we put this up.
That's a tough.
Is it
one.
Rojas or Schwarber, defensive player? Because I think both of them.
Schwarber's going to get more tackles, but Rojas is going to get you like 3 pick sixes probably.
Yeah, he would be I think he would be a great corner.
Imagine he gets the ball in his hand. How do you bring him down?
But he also could play like he played the ball perfectly.
Should we put
coming
him
at
in the
him.
slot? Turner at corner. Either one.
I also thought about Turner.
Turner would
at
be a
corner,
big
too.
I could see him like being a Seattle Seahawks All Pro corner, or like free
Legion
safety.
of Boom.
Yeah,
Legion of
because
Boom.
he's
Trey
big.
Turner.
It's pretty big. Rojas makes more sense, but I think we stick with Schwarber. If we're putting it up a graphic, final is Schwarbs. He's gonna get more tackles.
You went to a Big Ten school.
Sneaky athletic, not even sneaky.
The Indiana linebacker,
I mean,
even though he's from Ohio.
Ohio boys know how to play the football.
Yeah, probably Schwarber.
All right, so we're
Schwarber.
going JT quarterback.
JT, Ranger.
Bohm.
No, Ranger, run RB1.
Oh, I'm skipped to the wide receivers. Yeah, so Ranger RB1.
Who did we say RB2? Stott.
Stott RB2.
Stott RB2.
Is Ranger got speed though? I need a running back with some speed.
But you got a running back with patience. Le'Veon Bell style. I don't know. He might not be that fast.
Sosa would probably be a sick running back.
You love Edmundo Sosa.
As an athlete, can we just have JT play every position? All right, no, we'll stick with it. We'll stick with Ranger.
I mean, this is going to come to reality someday, so we'll figure it out someday.
Ranger, and then Stott, and then
Trey
and Marsh. I love
Marsh
our receivers. I love our receivers.
Yeah.
And
Tight
then
end is Harper.
Love that so much.
Kicker is
Sosa.
Edmundo. Defensive player,
Schwarbs. Lock it up.
Linebacker.
If you got a better list, shoot them over.
Yeah, let us know on socials.
Definitely going to post that. See what kind of feedback we get. We'll probably get torn apart.
Probably.
Yeah, like anything you tweet, you just get ripped apart. Someone will make it about Trump or something. Everything's so political.
It's true. Yeah, so everything's political except for everything we post.
Why'd you make your graphic red? You know the Phillies are red and blue? Like, shut up, dude.
All right. Let's wind it down here. So another great episode. Had a lot of fun today. Hopefully we have another good 2 weeks, and we have a lot of great things to talk about, especially coming up in this very important Brave series. Looking forward to the next 2 weeks, Tom.
Yeah, we'll be down there Sunday in the parking lot in K-Lot most likely. So if you see us, come say what's up. We'll give you a shirt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go Phils.
Go Phils.